Welcome back, everyone, to the Canada Specialist Program webinar series. Our next update is with Candice, International Market Development, Travel Trade and Travel Media at Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. Candice, welcome to the series. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for being here, for wanting to learn a little bit more about this beautiful province, the most easterly province in Canada and one of the most beautiful places in the world. I'm biased, but I think you will all agree with me.
You're allowed to say that. We love it. Now, Candice, I know your presentation today is kind of specifically talking about the fall season, but before we head into that, you're going to give us just a reminder of those basics of province, please.
Sure. Just in case you're coming in late or you're watching this later, just so you know the basics of Newfoundland and Labrador. Newfoundland is the island portion of the province, and Labrador is attached to Quebec on the mainland. We're a very big province. We cover over 400,000 square kilometers, and we have 29,000 kilometers of coastline. We're very unique from other Canadian provinces. We very much have our own culture. We're off-kilter. We're kind of quirky. And we're very colorful in every way possible, especially in the fall, as you can see here in the Humber Valley. I spend a lot of time talking about peak season in Newfoundland and Labrador, which is from May to August. But September to the end of October is actually my very favorite time to be here. And hopefully by the end of the presentation, you'll see why. The logistics, first of all, Air Canada and Provincial Airlines has year-round service to most airports across the province, including Deer Lake, Gander, and St. John's. Many travelers also arrive here by Marine Atlantic ferries. These operate between Newfoundland and North Sydney and Nova Scotia, which is on Cape Breton Island. So there's a year-round daily service that goes from North Sydney to Port aux Basques on the southwest corner of the province, and a seasonal service that goes from June to the end of September from North Sydney to Argentia, which is on the eastern side of the province, and is only a 90-minute drive from St. John's, the capital. A lot of people who are especially visiting for fall foliage like to do the Cape Breton road trip and then come across to Newfoundland and kind of do a full circle. So for anyone who wants to take off more than one province during the visit, that's a great option for them.
Thank you. And I know you will do some follow-up on all of that. So what Candice just explained, there will be some follow-up information coming. But yes, talking about the fall, I see you just got some emoji love there. And I think it's, those stunning pictures already. So what makes fall so special in Newfoundland and Labrador?
Well, we'll start with the most obvious. The fall foliage here is absolutely incredible. It's a great time to visit. You'll witness striking vistas and landscapes with brilliant colors drape the diverse geography of the province. Bright reds on the west coast and the interior of the island, and bright yellows in Labrador and the east coast. There are plenty of routes to see autumn foliage, but this image here is Humber Valley, where there are stands of birch trees and colorful maples that dot the area, and you can see them from many vantage points. Another great reason to visit is more cooler temperatures, more consistently sunny days. I absolutely love this photo because I feel like you can feel the fall Christmas just in the air. This is from Labrador. Yeah. And so from September to the end of October, the weather is always really pleasant. The average temperature in September is usually between 10 to 15, but it's not uncommon to have warmer days in the 20s. October, generally between 10 to 15 degrees as well. If you're like me and you suffer in the heat and you want to get outdoors and do things, this is a really great time to be here. Fall is home to many fall festivals, like the famous Roots, Rants, and Roars Festival in Elliston on the Bonavista Peninsula. So this is a very foodie-focused festival. Chefs from all over Canada get together. There are food hikes, music, and of course the famous cod wars, where the chefs all create their own unique cod dish, and you can vote on the best dish. And the chef, whoever wins, becomes the king of cod. It's very entertaining. Awesome. There's also the Growthorn Fall Festival, which is a celebration of crafts, music, and food taking place in the town of Cowhead. There's a Damnable Trail Festival, which is a hiking festival in the central region on a brand new trail network. And we have everything from a crab festival in Labrador to a digital arts festival in Twillingate. Fogo Islands has an arts weekend. And since it's shoulder season, it really gives people the opportunity to meet the locals and kind of experience that to feel like they're part of the community, basically.
That's
And
fun.
berry
We always
picking.
love, yeah, we love seeing pictures of food. We love you talking about food. These berries, excited about these berries. I don't recognize them. What are these berries, Candice?
They're partridge berries, and they don't become ripe until after the first frost. Um, it's kind of like a tart berry, and we use it especially in jam. It's delicious on toast or even in dessert fillings, that sort of thing. And actually, September, October, November is some of the best berry picking times in the province. So you'll find blueberries, cranberries, partridge berries. You can head out on the hiking trails. You're sure to come back with a full belly and a bucket full of berries. And if you're here during these months, make sure you befriend every single Newfoundlander or Labradorian that you can find, because if they like you enough, they'll show you where their secret patch of berries is. We all have one. Fall is also an excellent time for hiking. We have over 300 hiking and walking trails. Um, in all parts of the province, you can easily access the many trails here until the first snowfall. And the cooler temperatures and the fall foliage actually makes this a really nice time to do that. Plus, you get all the same stunning coastal views and wilderness experiences as you would during peak season. Keep in mind that some trails, especially in the national parks, are closed for conservation purposes or safety purposes. So you'll want to advise your clients to check ahead. But for the most part, hiking here is really great, even up until December.
Awesome. I know it's a great self-drive destination, right? So, Candice, I know you're going to take us through a few of the touring routes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Fall is the perfect time for a road trip through Newfoundland and Labrador, with the bonus of better car rental availability as well. So pretty much anywhere you go will be stunning, including on the Trans-Canada Highway right through the interior of the province. In terms of travel planning, there are certain areas where they're a bit more seasonable than other times. So things will close down in September or before Thanksgiving, which is in October in Canada. But the next couple of routes that I will talk about are very much open for business in the fall, and they serve as wonderful places to drive to. The Bonavista Peninsula is a fantastic place for a fall road trip. This area is also known as the Discovery Trail, so it takes in historic communities like Trinity, Port Rexton, Port Union, Bonavista. Small Zodiac boat tours are available right up until early November, so you can still take in the epic coastline and see plenty of wildlife like seabirds, eagles, occasionally whales and dolphins. The key attractions are still open, like the Bonavista Lighthouse and the Dungeon, which is a collapsed sea arch. And all of the fine dining is still available, including craft breweries and even bicycle picnics. You can access all the hiking trails here as well, like the stunning Skirwink Trail, which is one of Nat Geo's top hiking trails in the world. Baccalieu Coastal Drive is another wonderful road trip route. This traces a long finger off the Avalon Peninsula between Trinity Bay and Conception Bay. Includes communities like Dildo, New Perlican, Harbor Grace, and Brigus. And boat tours operate here until about early October. There's lots of great dining and craft brewing options here, like the Dildo Brewery, Baccalieu Brewery, and the Newfoundland Distillery, which is actually releasing its very first whiskey in the entire province in the fall. So that's kind of exciting. You can stretch your legs on the many hiking trails here, or simply stroll around the colorful historic towns like Brigus and Carbonear. And this route is easy to do as a day trip from St. John's as well, although you'll probably want to stay a bit longer than that. In the Western region, Grossmoor National Park, UNESCO World Heritage Site, has plenty to do, and I'm not just talking about hiking, although that is one of the best reasons to visit for sure. Boat tours in Bond, sorry, my German Shepherd is being very loud right now. Boat tours in Bond Bay and through Western Brook Pond Fjord are available until the end of September. You can admire the impressive geology of the area, like the tablelands, and this is where the theory of tectonic plates was proven. And there's lots of live entertainment options. So like I mentioned, the Grossmoor Fall Festival and the Anchors Away events also happen until the end of September, early October. And St. John's, of course, is the capital city. It never sleeps. And truer words are never spoken for this city because it has an extremely vibrant nightlife, lots of incredible local dining options, art galleries, theater, endless entertainment all year round. It's truly the culture capital. And there's even an area of the city that is known to have more artists per capita than anywhere else in Canada. Jeanette has already alluded to some of the really fantastic things to see and do in St. John's, like hiking the East Coast Trail or visiting historic sites like Cape Spear or Signal Hill. Then there's the Rooms Art Gallery and Museum, which is the province's largest largest cultural space with permanent and temporary exhibits and art galleries and year-round programming. We also have lots of walking tours that take place all year round. One of my favorite fall things to do here in the city is the St. John's Haunted Hike. It's the creation of Dale Jarvis, who is a local storyteller and folklorist. And this tour leads people through the streets of downtown while bringing to life ghostly tales with some historical context thrown in. They actually come through my neighborhood all the time, which is kind of creepy, but it's really fun, I promise. So to wrap this up, I have a video here that we put out a couple years ago about shoulder season, fall travel in the province. And it takes place on the Bonavista Peninsula, but I think overall you'll get an idea of why this place is so wonderful in the fall.
What do you get for taking your time? After all, in a place like this, there's no need to rush. No need for a mad dash toward the finish line. It's about making the time to listen and tasting every last drop. It's about having the freedom to find yourself and one or two things you may not expect along the way. So, what exactly do you get for taking your time? Absolutely everything. Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I will follow up with some more details about fall travel in the province. I really appreciate your time today, so thanks very much.